Good evening. This is the City Council regular session for Thursday, January 20th, 2022. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Harper.
Here.
Ms. Atkins. Here. Mr. Jensen.
Here.
Mayor Aboasley. Mayor, Mr. Brandt.
Here.
Ms. Menzer. Here. Mr. Sterned.
Here. Thank you. Now we'll have a moment of silence. Thank you. First on the agenda tonight is a proclamation for Human Trafficking Prevention and Awareness Month of January 2022. Councilwoman Atkins will be reading that tonight.
I think we have representatives from Change Interaction.
Yes.
Very good.
You want to Sure, come on up. You bet. And then I'll read through this and you'll have a chance to speak a little bit at the end.
All right.
Okay. So whereas human trafficking is the exploitation of a person through force, fraud, and coercion, it is found in the United States most often in the form of sexual exploitation, forced labor, and debt bondage. And whereas human trafficking is one of the world's fastest growing crimes, whose growth was only accelerated by the pandemic due to isolation, economic hardship, migration, increase in abuse, and online activity. The anti-human trafficking program at Mercy Medical Center saw a 26% increase in referrals in 2020 and a 59% increase in 2021 as compared to 2019. And whereas this horrific crime, which denies human beings their dignity and freedom and fuels organized crime, exists in our nation, our state, and our own community. And whereas even though awareness of this crime is growing, human trafficking continues to be missed and underreported due to its isolating nature and misunderstanding of its various forms and indicators. And whereas increased community education on how to prevent victims from being lured, identify those victimized, along with increased knowledge of local resources and services for those affected by this crime can help rescue victims and restore their dignity, as well as reduce the number of future victims. And whereas every business, community organization, faith community, family, and individual can make a difference by working to protect the vulnerable from sexual exploitation, addressing the problem of internet sex trafficking and pornography, choosing products that are not made by forced labor, and by becoming more aware of the problem and possible solutions. And whereas the city of Marion joins Chains Interrupted, Mercy Medical Center, and St. Luke's Hospital in their dedication to providing community outreach and education, legislative advocacy, training, promotion of services to survivors of human trafficking, and collaboration with law enforcement agencies. Now, therefore, I, Colette Atkins, on behalf of Mayor Aboasley of Marion, Iowa, do hereby proclaim the month of January as Human Trafficking Prevention and Awareness Month, and encourage all Marion residents to become more informed on this growing problem, to be vigilant and report suspicious activity, and to work towards solutions that bring about an end to trafficking in all its forms in our community. If you see something that doesn't look right, reach out to Chains Interrupted at 319-364-0222 or the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 888-373-7888. There you go. And if you'd like to say a few words, it's all yours. Okay. Good
Good evening. My name is Teresa Davidson, and I am the co-founder of Chains Interrupted, as well as the anti-human trafficking coordinator at Mercy Medical Center. And standing in solidarity with me tonight are various members of Chains Interrupted, Mercy Medical Center, and St. Luke's Hospital. And on behalf of victims everywhere, and as well as those who are working really hard to regain the lives that were stolen from them by this crime, we thank the mayor and the city council for signing this proclamation and bringing awareness to this. Marion has been a longtime friend to the anti-human trafficking movement, starting with the Marion Police Department years ago. We've been working side by side closely with them and currently have a member on the Eastern Iowa Regional Task Force at Mercy Medical Center that fights this crime. So thank you, and we look forward very much to working with the council, the community members, the police, and anyone else who'd like to work with us against this. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have a public forum. This section is for comments from the public on topics that are listed on the agenda and not associated with a public hearing. So if you would like to address the council on an item that is on the agenda, please come forward now. Seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move to approve the consent agenda. This would include items A1 through G1, resolutions 30203 to 30245.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? On any items? Any discussion? Nothing. Then we will vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 30246, approving payment to the Marion Arts Festival using FY22 hotel motel funds in the amount of $4,000.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 30246, approving payment to Marion Arts Festival using FY22 hotel motel funds in the amount of $4,000. Discussion. Seeing none, we will vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I move to approve ordinance number 22-01, amending chapter 99 of the Code of Ordinances relating to sanitary sewer by increasing monthly domestic and industrial user charges from $4.39 to $4.60. Second consideration.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 22-01, amending chapter 99 of the Code of Ordinances relating to sanitary sewer by increasing monthly domestic and industrial user charges from $4.39 to $4.60. This is the second consideration. In discussion.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just as benchmarking our discussion from this last Tuesday and I think at the prior council sessions. So I understand this is an interim increase and we are working to understand the long range costing profile that the Cedar Rapids wastewater treatment facility is formulating. So I just wanted to basically say that for the record, that we have more work to do as we look long range on this item. And I think Mr. Miller, if I'm wrong on that, please correct me. Okay, a thumbs up from long distance at the back, I guess. Thank you.
Any other discussion? And we will vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion carries.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move to approve ordinance number 22-03, amending chapter 95, section 95.04 of the Code of Ordinances relating to sanitary sewer connection requirement. This will be initial consideration.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 2203, 22-03, amending chapter 95, section 95.04 of the Code of Ordinances relating to sanitary sewer connection requirement. This is the initial consideration. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All of those opposed, please say no. Motion carries.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 30247, setting the date. Oh,
Sorry, I needed to move this over to Mr. Harper for consideration.
Okay, thank you. And so Councilwoman Atkins, if you would, F1.
sure. Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 30247, setting the date of a public hearing for February 3rd, 2022 regarding a rezoning request for property located at 2095 3rd Avenue, Marion Community Build LLC.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded on resolution number 3024-7. Any discussion? Okay, hearing then. It's been moved and seconded on resolution number 30247, setting the date for a public hearing for February 3rd, 2022 regarding a rezoning request for property located at 2095 3rd Avenue, Marion Community Build LLC. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed.
And I abstain.
Mr. Brandt abstains. The motion carries, and I move it back to the Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move to approve ordinance number 22-02, approving a request to rezone property from C3 General Commercial and R6 High Density Multifamily Residential to PUD, Planned Unit Development for property located at 610 and 648 Marion Boulevard, Marion, Iowa. And this is brought by Talon LLC, and this is the second consideration.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 22-02, approving a request to rezone property from C3 General Commercial and R6 High Density Multifamily Residential to PUD, Planned Unit Development for property located at 610 and 648 Marion Boulevard, Iowa, Marion, Iowa. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion carries. And now we have a public hearing regarding an annexation request from Integrity Custom Homes Incorporated for property west of Albernet Road, south of Oak Park Trail, Marion, Iowa. Tom's over there. Presentation, please.
Yeah, so as you can see, we've on the map on the overhead where we have a map of the proposed area for annexation. Ken Bakken owns the larger piece of property identified here in green. There's another property owner, smaller section that also joined in the voluntary annexation. The purple area identifies an individual who is a part of the annexation, but is not a consenting to it. In order to alleviate some of the pain points associated with the annexation, which generally is the tax increase going from county tax rate to city tax rate, there is the ability for the council to proceed with a transition of the taxes over a 10-year period of time. We always recommend that as it moves forward, just understanding that, you know, as we proceed to grow, we are going to have to annex folks, and it doesn't always make for great conversation, but it also, the state code does allow us to transition those taxes, which I think is important as we move forward and grow. So that is the property that's proposed for annexation. It does include the individual that's non-consenting, is less than 20% of the area. So the state code does provide for the opportunity to include those folks. I would point out that one of the reasons for inclusion is to keep appropriate boundaries. As you can see, if we did not include this, we would have a kind of a knockout in our property lines or our annexation or municipal boundaries. So we like to keep those pretty consistent, and that's why we did include this property owner. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Thank you. And then we are in the public hearing. So at this time, there's anyone to speak in favor of or opposed to, please come to the podium and state your name and your address, please.
My name's Floyd Fisher, and I live at 2180 Dawn Drive. And the notice that I received seemed to include me also in the annexation. Your picture doesn't. But you said you're going to Dawn Drive and I live on the north side of Dawn Drive.
The area included would be that area on the map. I don't have a copy of it, but I can
Okay.
take a peek. But if you were not notified, then you are not part of it.
I
So,
was notified with that
okay.
but I'm in the white on your map up there.
Yeah, then you're not.
I'm okay?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
We would definitely be in conversation with you on that.
Okay, and I'm not totally opposed to the whole thing. I just would really prefer when you get ready to do it, you take that whole edition,
Yeah,
the line
absolutely.
edition, the whole thing.
Yep.
All right, thank you. very much.
Apologize for the confusion there, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, anyone else here to speak in favor of or opposed to the annexation? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing and move on to F4.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 30248, approving annexation request from Integrity Custom Homes Incorporated for property west of Alburnett Road, south of Oak Park Trail, Marion, Iowa.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 30248, approving annexation request from Integrity Custom Homes Incorporated for property west of Alburnett Road, south of Oak Park Trail, Marion, Iowa. Any discussion?
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
So Tom, just to clarify, Dawn Drive, that area that is the lots that border Dawn Drive, Lions Drive, and Douglas Drive, those are presently within city?
Those are not. They're in the county.
So annexation of this then, and I'm sorry I didn't ask this during our work session. So what we're doing is annexing, in essence, an island, potentially?
No.
No, the area, if you take a look at the overhead, the area that is gray is the city limits.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know. Now I
Yeah,
understand.
The white is,
legend to the
yeah,
map.
yep.
Okay, sorry, and that was probably portrayed on that illustration, but I didn't look at that fine print. Okay, thank you.
And if I could just add quickly, we've been in conversations with the folks that live in the Dawn Drive area over the years. If we took a look at this map and kind of blew it up a little bit, there's a larger area that is almost an island. There's like a 50-foot section between Cedar Rapids and Marion that goes out to Echo Hill Road. And there's 3 or 4 larger property owners in that area. And if they chose to annex, we would have a much larger annexation, and it would solve kind of that island situation that exists out there. And we've worked with this neighborhood in the past. There's a lot of stormwater issues. And so that conversation continues, and we would certainly go out and meet with the property owners as that annexation conversation does continue. So anyway, just so everybody, I think some folks on the council have been involved in those conversations. So we've been definitely intend on having that conversation with them at the appropriate time.
Yeah. One more question. You mentioned the tax transition timeframe. Can you give me some description of the timeframe that would exist, how that would operate a little bit relative to the residents, the resident scene, changes in their tax profile?
I don't have the transition exactly in front of me, but it's a percentage of their tax bill will increase over a 10-year period of time to get to 100% of the city levy, but it transitions slowly. So it's a similar transition as the abatement schedule is over a 10-year period. So it's I think it goes 80, 80, 70, 70, 60, 60, 50, 50.
Okay.
And so the taxes will increase over a period of time, but you won't get that one-time hit. So they're going from about how should I say it? They're paying county taxes now, which is much smaller than the full levy rate in the city, so.
Yeah, you answered the critical portion. It's stair stepped across a 10-year period,
Yep,
which is
yep.
great. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for Tom? I do have a question. So when you talk about the 10-year scale for the taxes, is that something that will come to council in the future, or is that something that needs to be decided tonight if we do that for the property owner?
It's currently it's included in the resolution.
It currently is, okay, thank
Yep,
you.
as
And
a
then
part of the approval.
was that just for was that for the whole area getting annexed in, or just for the
It's for
residential?
everyone. It can, if I'm correct, it can only be for all or nothing.
And then, so if obviously the green area is getting developed. So if when that does get developed and the single family homes are built there, those single family residents will be stepped into full taxes, or is
No.
it just for that owner?
It's for the owners, and if they subdivide, the transition
away.
goes away.
Okay.
Because it's considered development.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? All right, seeing nothing, we will vote. All those in favor of resolution 30248, please say aye.
Aye.
All those aye. All those opposed, please say no. Motion carries. We go down to public forum. This time is set aside for public comments. This would be on any items that are not on the agenda. Is there anyone here to speak to the council this evening? Sir, please come forward to the podium and state your name and address, and also you've got that filled out. Thank you.
My name is Chad Olferts, live at 1210 C Avenue, and like to update the law or change the law about riding side by sides on the city streets of Marion. If it's possible or not, so.
Okay.
So, we're just.
You can give that to the city clerk there. Thank you. Anyone else here to speak to the council? Seeing none, we will move on to council comments. Start with Mr. Harper.
None this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Jensen, nothing?
Nothing tonight?
Atkins?
A couple of things. Great to have residents here, right? So when they see something that they want to make a change to, it's always nice to have visitors. So I appreciate coming this evening. And I think that's it. That's all I've got. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. No? No, nothing? I have one thing, and that would be a survey started yesterday for the Indian Creek project for the creek, for the watershed area, or not the watershed area, but for the creeks themselves. It's part of the next, Imagine Next Creekside Pride project. So if anyone is able to log on to the internet and take that survey, we would appreciate that, just to see what you would like to see done with the creeks going forward as far as recreation, education, things like that. So the creeks are an untapped resource that we have, and we're looking to utilize them more. So I know I grew up by Dry Creek, and as a child, we fished, waded, tubed, and did all kinds of stuff in the creek. We lived in the creek in the summer, so creek. Creek. Yep. So anyway, if you can do that survey, we'd appreciate that. And that's all I have. So nice quick meeting tonight. Meeting is adjourned.
When you grew up around